بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. Our beloved Sulaiman Mahmoud is currently out of town, so I will inshallah just share a few words, unfortunately not in theme with all of the beautiful, wonderful pearls and gems that he's been sharing, but nonetheless inshallah something that we can think about, something that we can benefit from, as it is a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it's something that we can think about, especially now, when almost half of Ramadan has almost complete, has been completed. Now we are on the second half of Ramadan. And like any athlete who is in a competition or any team that is in any sort of competition, they reassess their situation at halftime. And they examine their plan, how it was, how effective it was before, whether it seems to be working or not, and they'll reassess and they'll plan for the remainder. Or if you have someone who is running in a marathon, then he'll ensure that he paces himself until he reaches the end. Then when he reaches the end, slowly but surely, he'll begin to increase his pace, assessing again his past and what he has left and how much energy he needs to exert so that he can reach it successfully at the end. So this is something that we ought to also do in the month of Ramadan. This is a month where we have unimaginable amounts of mercy descending, so much barakah, so much rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But how much are we maximizing on these benefits? How much rahmah are we securing for ourselves? And how is our plan of action working for us right now? Many a times we hear such a beautiful recitation of Quran by Maulana Farhan Sayyid, or we hear a very inspirational lecture from Mufti Alimuddin, Hafidhullah, Mufti Minhaj, or also from Sulaiman Mahmoud, or many of the others who are conducting programs. And subhanAllah, it gives us such a rejuvenation, and we want to apply ourselves. But sometimes because we don't necessarily set a goal for ourselves, we think that I'm just going to read Quran until I drop. Or I'm just going to continue reading Quran, or I'm going to continue sending salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We find, unfortunately, that's not always the best method. That's not always the best method. But rather, the ulama and the mashayikh, they mentioned that a person should actually keep a set amount, a goal in mind. Because we are goal-oriented. And this goal should be such that we are consistently able to manage it. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned in a hadith, reported by Aisha radiallahu anha, he said, Ya ayyuhan nas, addressing all the Sahaba, alaykum bima tatiqun. He said, hold steadfast to those actions that you are consistently capable of doing. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَمَلُّ حَتَّى تَمَلُّ. For certainly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never stops rewarding a person until they themselves fall short, and they themselves lax, and they stop acting. Then he continues and he says, وَإِنَّ أَحَبَّ الْأَعْمَالِ إِلَى اللَّهِ مَا دُوِّمَ عَلَيْهِ وَإِنْ قَلَّ. The most beloved of actions to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are those actions which are done with consistency, even if they may be small. This is a marathon. We have to secure as much rahmah as we can. We cannot just go for, maybe we were performing a 15-day Tarawih Salah, and then after that, the Quran, what happens? Sometimes the Huffaz who are leading, or even those muqtadis who are behind, may Allah protect us, we even stop coming to the masjid, or we stop performing Tarawih Salah. But this is not right. It's not just after those few days are over that we stop. Or it's not such that we get inspired, we read 2 juz, 3 juz, maybe even 10 juz that day, but then the next 10 days we're out of it. That should not be the case. But rather, the most effective, the most beloved of actions to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that will secure us the most reward, are those actions which are done with consistency, even if they may be little, something that we can consistently manage. And this is something that we all should, inshallah, we can all ask ourselves. We're at different places. Some of us, mashallah, are able to comfortably manage 1 quarter. And it shouldn't be such that, especially in this month, that we don't just suffice on what we're comfortably able to do, but something that would challenge us, and something that we can, inshallah, maintain daily. So if we've been able to do a quarter every single day, we can increase it to 1.5 quarters. Or we can increase it to doing maybe half a juz. And so on and so forth. If we're sending a certain amount of salawat, we can increase that. Certain dua, we can increase that. It's mentioned in another hadith by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that on the Day of Judgment, you'll find that a believer will be called from various different doors. That in kana min ahli salah, du'iya min bab salah. Wa in kana min ahli jihad, du'iya min bab jihad. Wa in kana min ahli sawm, du'iya min bab rayyan. And so on and so forth. Showing that sometimes we are such that we have a particular affinity with one amal over the other. That is the amal that we do consistently, that we do habitually, that we do without leaving it out. That could be our one way of attaining Jannah. And there will be some who will be able to consistently engage in all actions. But the key thing here is the fact that they are known for those particular actions because of their consistency. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost grant me the ability to act on what has been said. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless everyone else also to act on what has been said. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.